Hey there, Derek here. Today I want to share one simple exercise that helped fix my tennis elbow in just 2 weeks after spending hundreds of dollars on elite sports physios and suffering months of pain and inconvenience with only minimal progress. Now this happened back in early 2021 when I was training and prepping for a bodybuilding competition and pretty much stopped me from doing a bunch of exercises like dips and bicep curls, as well as causing pain and discomfort carrying out daily chores like washing the dishes. Not fun. So my goal today is to save you a bunch of time and money, but before I share this simple exercise, let's firstly quickly understand what tennis elbow is and go over some of the anatomy. Alright, so what is tennis elbow? Basically, it's an overload or an overuse of the extensor carpi radialis brevis muscle, which inserts at the lateral epicondyle of the humerus. Now this sounds like a lot of jargon, so let me break this down for you. The lateral epicondyle, this point here, this bony point that's super easy to find, the condyle is the rounded ends of any bone. And the epicondyle is simply protuberance on the condyle, or a bit that's sticking out. So that's the lateral epicondyle. The name extensor carpi radialis brevis actually tells us what this muscle does. Extensor carpi, let's look at that first. Carpi references the carpal bones in your hand. So extensor carpi means extending the hand. Radialis because the muscle follows the radial bone of the forearm. Brevis because it's a short part of the muscle. There's also extensor carpi radialis longus, which is the long part of that muscle. Tennis elbow only affects the short one at this insertion point. So there we have it. That explains that it extends the wrist, but it also does a couple of other functions. Specifically, it helps abduct the wrist that is going up this way, and it also helps partially with flexion of the elbow. So let's now discuss what causes tennis elbow. Basically, any activity that requires you to repeatedly extend or abduct the wrist will predispose you to tennis elbow. Now it gets its name tennis elbow because in tennis you need to extend the wrist a lot, right? For your forehands and your backhand. Can you guess which one causes it the most?
Forehand or backhand?
That's right, it's the backhand. In the forehand, you're actually extending to prepare for the shot. However, for the backhand, you are flexing first and then extending to hit through the shot, which requires more force. Now, you don't have to do tennis necessarily to get tennis elbow. It's also very common in occupations that require holding tools like plumbers, painters, construction workers, butchers, and even computer mouse use. If you just think about moving the mouse like this, you're constantly adducting and abducting your wrist. And it seems to be especially affect those of us who are in the 30 to 50 year age group, like me. What are the common signs and symptoms? Well, pretty much difficulty and pain carrying out simple gripping related movements. Personally, it was very painful whenever I had to hold pots and pans by the handle, or even carrying just cups of coffee. I was pretty much unable to do any bicep curls and dips for a very long time. The signs, simple. Pretty much just tenderness around the insertion point where the tendon has had the micro tears. Alright, so how is this commonly treated? Well, the most obvious is just to rest and avoid any movement that causes the pain. Secondly, you can do strengthening exercises. Okay, this is one of the strength training exercises very common for tennis elbow. And all we're doing is extending our wrist with a weight over an edge so we can allow our wrist to completely drop and lift up. Okay, key thing is use a light weight that you can at least do 10 to 15 reps. You want to use a light weight and slowly build up. This is not to build muscle, this is to try and strengthen your muscle in a very gradual, non-painful way. You can also massage. Another thing is you can put a band around your forearm. This helps relieve some of the pressure on the insertion point. There's also drugs like NSAIDs and of course surgery. Essentially, I was using the first three. However, after a few months, it only marginally improved and I was nowhere near a full recovery. Then I discovered this one simple exercise incidentally while getting my back fixed by a local physio. I spent only a few minutes a day and it completely fixed my tennis elbow in about 2 weeks at the end of 2021, and since then I haven't had any problems for over a year. So what is this special exercise? Let me show you. Ideally, you want to find a low table surface, lower than this one ideally, where you can rest your hands comfortably with the arms straight down like this and the back of the hands on the table. You then want to try and connect your wrists and then make your pinkies touch. Now, initially, when I tried to do this, my two pinkies were probably like this. But as I did the exercises daily, my muscles and tendons stretched, and eventually I was able to connect my wrist and my pinkies. But most importantly, my tennis elbow was cured. One other thing I've recently discovered that may accelerate recovery from many soft tissue injuries like tennis elbow is a technology using infrared light that energizes your cells, improves blood flow, and a bunch of other processes that help your soft tissues recover faster. I purchased a device called a Flex Beam from Recharge Health, and I'm currently testing it out on my calf strain, my left partial TFC tear, and my left partial rotator cuff tear on my left shoulder. So far, I've had some very promising results, with unexpected progress after only 2 weeks on my left partial TFC tear after months of zero progress. So that's got me super excited to be very close to full recovery after more than 6 months. If you want to find out more about my TFC tear recovery, you can click the link here. Now, Recharge Health also have a very useful guide on recovery time for some of the most common injuries, including tennis elbow, rotator cuff injury, lower back sprains and strains, hamstring, ACL injury, and shin splints. I really recommend grabbing a copy as they've really done a great job on summarizing the recovery journey with full links to all their references. You can click here to open up the page and download. Just wait a few seconds and look for the pop-up to enter your details. If you would like to try this therapy yourself to speed up your recovery, just use the same link to get the best discount off their current prices. Full disclosure, I've become an affiliate for Recharge Health, and therefore a small percentage of the purchase price will go to me. But most importantly, you don't pay any more. In fact, I've been assured by the good people at Recharge Health you'll get the best discount using my link, so you'll save if anything. I've also included the link in the details below the video. Good news also is they offer a full 30 days, no question asked refund, so you can try this for yourself risk-free to see if it might help you. In any case, do check out my red light therapy videos once I complete my tests so you can see what kind of results I got. Alright, so that's it. I hope you find this useful, and if you decide to give this simple exercise a try, especially if other methods have not worked for you, please let me know how it goes in the comments below, and if you have any questions, drop them there as well. Check out my other videos, including one on golfer's elbow, and if you have any other conditions you would like me to cover, hit me up in the comments. This channel will be all about how to optimize your body, mind, and your life. So if you like this video and want more, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and ping that notification bell so you don't miss any videos from me. Thanks again for watching. See ya.